JD talking sports. I'm going to start off talking about some NASCAR because, we don't talk enough about NASCAR. And I'll tell you the truth. I was watching the race, Grant Park, Chicago, and I remember growing up watching NASCAR, Daytona 500, CBS, even Fox. And you had great announcers. You had Ken Squire. You had Benny Parsons. You had Darrell Waltrip. Mike Joy, but Ken Squire and Wally Dallenbach, Mike Joy, Ken Squire. I mean, these were they resonated. And then yesterday they had Rick Allen, Steve Letarte, Jeff Burton, Dale Jr. Love you. Really didn't add much to it. This one guy was like, it just didn't have that seasoned guy. You need guys that really know about racing, and back Ken Squire, Waltrip. I mean, Benny Parsons was fantastic. And awesome that the race was in Chicago. It sucked that the weather sucked. Raining, they actually it was supposed to be 100 laps, 220 miles. Is that what it was? Or yeah, right? 100 laps, 200. And they had to shorten it because of darkness. And then they had the Xfinity race. They stopped it. They canceled the end. I think they awarded the win to somebody. And to top it all off, which is amazing, is that Shane Van Gisbergen from Australia. It was a one-off. He's an Australian. They said he might be the second best racer in the goddamn world. I guess they're talking about Max Verstappen, the guy who won Austria this year in Formula One. That's the two best. But I looked up his accomplishments. He, in an Aussie domestic racing, 499 starts, 80 wins, 174 podiums. I mean, you're talking about 80 out of 500 races. He's won 80. That's a lot. 100. That means top three. 3 championships in supercars. He also won the Bathurst 1,000 kilometer race, 621.4 miles. That's a race. He's won that also. He is the first road course specialist to win a one-off since Indy 500 and road course legend Mark Donohue won for Team Penske back at Riverside in '73, and he's the first, the last to win since Johnny Rutherford won also, and before that was Johnny Rutherford 1963 Daytona won the second qualifying race. You're talking about 73, the last time somebody won a one-off. And I know it was a road race, and that's what he's used to. But I'd like to see him, race a season. And I have a picture up of Chicago. I mean, they shut down the city and everything, and then they have this shitty weather. And I guess they had to do it Sunday because 4th of July is during the week. But I feel like push it one day if the weather. But I guess they couldn't. I mean, I would think you put all that time putting into this thing. Some guy got killed. He got electrocuted. I guess he was doing wiring at the racetrack. I saw that someone got a tragedy. A 53-year-old guy got killed there. I was like, oh, that's terrible. And just being the streets, there's a lot of people there. You have the sights of Chicago, which I still never been to. I'm like, Michigan, what's that? She goes, I haven't been there in 30 years. I go, well, what's that? I haven't been there in 30 years. I was like, all right, well, I'm kind of curious. I got to have some deep dish pizza. I got to go there. I want to see, I love NASCAR. I really do. I just like race car driving. I wanted to be a race car driver. And, the straightaways, you hear a lot of crashes, Michigan didn't know why the cars, while they kind of do a serpentine, they're a little swerving, but they're trying to get their new tires, they're trying to get some tread on them so they grip better. She said, oh, I didn't know that. I said, yeah, see, I know some stuff. I'm not a gearhead. I mean, I don't know how to fix a car, but I know about racing, and I'd love to. Days of Thunder, come on. One of the greatest movies ever. And, Will Ferrell, if you're not first, you're last. I mean, come on. That's awesome. And Dukes of Hazzard. Yeah, there used to be a track near, when I was growing up, we had a little speedway down the hill from us, Pine Brook Speedway, that I used to go to see races as a kid. Yeah, I would have loved to have done that stuff. But, I miss the days, but overall, very exciting to watch. And congrats to Shane, 34 years young. Let's see if he gets another shot at this, because he came and he saw and he kicked ass, and he got the job done. Yeah, hell of a racer. You're talking about, first guy to do that in a one-off since 73. It's a long time. And we'll see what happens going forward. But then they have the overtime, and I don't understand all the rules. That's the thing, too. They've changed it now with this overtime. If it goes in, and Michigan goes, what is that? I go, I don't know. I don't understand the overtime in NASCAR. Yeah, I mean, I don't. Why does it go to overtime? That just good OT NASCAR. Don't get it. Don't understand it. Okay, NASCAR OT. Let's. Overtime will be attempted as many times as necessary to declare a winner of a race. Oh, that's what it is. Okay, so like NASCAR, certain scenarios where regulation competition must be extended in overtime. Instead of adding time, the sport uniquely increases the distance of the race. Great. If the caution lights are illuminated and the yellow flag is displayed prior to the leader crossing the finish line while being shown the white flag signaling the final lap of the race. That's when it goes into effect, when a caution occurs during the first lap of overtime. A 2-lap overtime goes into effect when the final scheduled lap of race is completed under yellow flag conditions. Okay. Pace car pulls off the track and the field makes a rolling restart from the starting line finish. It will be attempted as many times as necessary to declare a winner of the race. Yeah, it does not occur if the leader has received a white flag on the final schedule. Does not occur. Overtime lasts 2 laps. After the first lap of OT, the white flag is shown. After the white flag has been shown, the next flag, yellow or checkered, signals the end of the race. And if a caution occurs during overtime before the white flag has been shown, an additional overtime will be added to the end of the race. The start-finish line becomes the overtime line. Overtime takes place as many times as necessary to declare a winner. Okay, that's pretty easy. Pretty self-explanatory. But, you got to read this stuff sometimes. And yesterday was the 40th, July 2nd, 1980. My cousin took me to see it. Airplane, 1980. July 2nd, 1980, Airplane premiered. And 21 years ago today, like Mike,